I know we live in the modern age. I never get over this when I'm doing panels. Just people just filming, just showing. No, I'm not mad. I'm just like, it makes me so uncomfortable. I'm like, yes, what's your question? Yes, what is your question? I'm now documenting your old.
Or Vegeta's voice and All Might. All Might, I think, really comes from more of an Armstrong place.
Are you familiar with the Dragon Ball Z abridged by Team 4-Star? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, guys. This is one of those cases where it's not just Goku that shows up late, right? This is Goku and Vegeta both showing up late to the battle.
That's right.
We will answer all the questions, but very briefly only.
Absolutely.
Only one syllable answers.
That's impossible for me.
Guys, thank you so much. It was bad. We felt really bad. There were a bunch of people that were trying to get stuff signed for Christmas and stuff, kind of like you were. We felt really bad leaving them, and it's Sean's fault. So
I was like, are we doing this panel?
I was like, wait, these people are waiting for us in the panel, and Sean's like, screw those guys.
That's what you said.
Why would I say that?
Do you know who you play on TV?
Okay, sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Hi, how's it going?
Good to
Oh, we
see
have a
you.
moderator. I didn't even know we had a moderator. Sorry. Hi, what's your name?
Okay, my name's Tyler.
Hi, Tyler.
His name is Moderator.
I'll adopt that. That's what I like that. That is what it is. But you know, they don't care about me. They care about you two. I'm sitting here with Sean Schemmel and Chris Sabat.
Oh, you got his names right.
No.
They always get them wrong. I appreciate it. You get it right.
I've been practicing it all day long.
Thank
but
you.
Obviously everybody knows you guys from Dragon Ball Z, the voice of Goku, King Kai, and so many others.
Yeah, like 3 total.
Yeah.
One inside.
And then I ate one of his characters.
That's how he rolls.
Nail is inside me.
He tried to eat characters on my other shows, and the producers got mad. They're like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "Oh, I just eat characters." No,
That's like the greatest compliment ever for your character to eat your best friend's character.
yeah, I was proud of it. You know, it's a proud moment for me.
Like, it'd be funny when Piccolo just got too worked up over fusing with everybody, and like, Piccolo, you got chill. Like, he's like,
Now I want you to, I'm fused with King Kai.
no.
Oh yeah, he just goes to everybody.
You don't need my power.
That's why they relegated him to being a babysitter. Yeah. Pushing the crib with his foot, you know.
Absolutely. And Chris,
Yeah,
you
it's
do
good.
voice Vegeta, Vegeta,
Yes.
and just, I mean, like you guys are both just collaboratively just can take over your own show, which I think would be a fantastic, like a little spin-off.
Oh man, Toya would love that.
Yeah.
They would love that. They keep asking us. They're like, well, Chris, Sean, please do whatever you want. Then they
I'm
love
fascinated by these badges, aren't you guys? Sorry, they call us.
They didn't get those badges.
Oh, they didn't get
Why you bragging?
I'm sorry, I don't mean to brag.
They're just constantly like.
They made some of these badges out of like a space age material. Hold on. Like,
Glows light.
Like-
When you're outside, it coalesces light and emits it on the
Yeah.
perimeter. And
it's-
it's really cool.
This is all the energy that they need for the spirit bomb. Right in here.
That's pretty much.
It's a concentrate.
We snapped it in half and exploded in gigawatt of energy. Okay, let's talk.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
sorry.
Absolutely. No, you're totally fine. And
This is our last show of the year, so Chris and I are like really brain fried. Like it's that point of the tour where you're just like your brain is just I can't even make complete
What's
sense.
weird though, we didn't even get to do the beginning of the tour. We were out for so much of it. But
Yeah.
when we came back, it was really intense.
It was really intense.
Absolutely. And I'm going to open up the questions for you guys to ask questions, but I do want to preface that if you do have the questions, how do you get into anime? Christopher here has a wonderful video on YouTube that will answer that question for you. So please don't ask that question. You can ask anything else.
That's really funny because literally just like, I mean, no less than 5 minutes ago, someone just came up and said, so how did you get into anime when we were rushing to get on the stage?
Oh, wow.
It's like, that is a long question. You're going to have to come to my panel to have that answered, but we're not answering that today.
Unfortunately, I'm so sorry. I just want, I mean.
But the short answer is like, be the first person at an anime production company and try to convince them to let you be the director of what is to become a very popular show.
And have the foresight to know that in advance.
And hope that they don't pay anyone a lot of money so that they keep using you for a lot of things because it's cheaper. All right. The end. Have a super deep voice at a low age and then do it. And
Yeah, you have stories about how like you were like in 8th grade going into bars and fooling people.
I wasn't going into bars, but I was calling on my teachers because I literally called the school and go,
Hi, this is Donald Sabat. I just want to pull my son out of school today. He's not feeling so good.
I tried that and I got caught. I tried doing it first with my dad. They were like, "You're now truant," and they said it like I violated some kind of like holy law. You're now truant, as if there was like some label on me.
it's like, I wish I was smart enough to know what that meant.
Yeah. I don't know what truant means, but I don't
I'm
feel
not in
like
school.
I'm
I
in
don't
school
expect
right
you
now.
to know that.
How would that feel?
I love it. Y'all are awesome. And I'm sure to everybody else, you're a huge hero. Both of y'all are both heroes. And first,
You two can become a hero.
yeah, we can all become heroes. But we had a new exciting arc with Z Fighter, with Dragon Ball Super. We have a new movie coming out next year.
Yes.
And the movie is called Dragon Ball Super, Superhero. And without spoiling
And you had to say the colon part. every time you
Exactly.
say it.
It's not actually called colon superhero, just so you all know.
No, it is. It's called colon superhero.
the sequel.
It's based on my digestive issues.
By the way, are we in the Goku room? Or
Yes.
what? Okay.
We're in the Goku room.
Because I was joking with Sean.
You're welcome.
I was like, Sean, guess what? The My Hero Academia panel tomorrow is in the Goku room.
And I'm like, how appropriate.
Sean laughed very loudly.
Loudly.
He really did. Out loud.
I did. I laughed pretty loud.
But you were saying new movie.
New
Yeah,
movie.
the new movie.
Colon superhero.
Dragon Ball Super,
Colon
Superhero.
superhero.
Without spoiling anything for this amazing audience, how much super should we expect in this movie?
I love how he thinks we know that, and we know just exactly as much as the audience.
Yeah.
Exactly how much they know.
Yeah, we know nothing. Probably for good reason, because Sean and I have big mouths, and we don't know how to keep our mouths shut.
They won't. Well, I'm generally good with NDAs, but they don't want to risk anything. When I did Dragon Ball, when I did the Broly movie, I flew to a hotel. They met me at the front desk with an air-gapped PC laptop, and then they said, "You may have this for 24 hours." And I watched the movie once in my hotel room before the computer self-destructed.
Yep.
And it burned. And then I
It
had
is
to call
true.
the fire department.
Because they were like, you can't send this movie out to anyone. I'm like, Sean has to
Watch
this
it before I work.
before we do this. It's important. They're like, well, we got to find a way for it not to leave your possession. So I had to just wipe an entire. I said, sorry, hero, my daughter. I was like, we got to take your laptop. We have to erase all your games so that Sean can watch the movie. So
And I yanked it from her.
yeah.
Cold hands.
5 more minutes of Roblox.
And he was like, no. So I watched it once and then I went in the next day and recorded the movie for 2 days.
And then we won.
Yeah.
You did it.
You know, it's with regards to the movie, all I know is that they haven't disappointed us yet in any of these films.
True.
So, and every time I see one, I'm like, what? They're bringing back Frieza. Oh, that's not going to be any good. And then it was amazing. And like,
I think we had a conversation for every movie except the first one when we weren't sure it was going to be very good and it ended up being awesome.
it was a great.
Because we only got 2 fragmentary information and then we just deduced, like, why are you just bringing back Frieza? Why not a new villain? And then once you see it, it's amazing. you know?
Yeah, it was so good.
It was
so
really good.
all I know is it will probably be really good.
Yeah.
Good. And super.
And everyone has a colon in it, I think. Everyone has-
The only thing that might mess up the movie is if they're having supply chain issues and can't get the pens that they need in order
to draw the movie by hand.
It'll look different. They'll say we couldn't get the same pens. So
They ran out.
If the next movie does have like a villain named Super Colon, I'm totally gonna sue. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Super colon blow, like that commercial on SNL where it's the cereal that helps you go to the. Never mind. I can make a bunch of colon jokes, so I'm not.
Speaking of, you guys are both hilarious. And speaking about humor, one thing that's really big in Dragon Ball and just Akira Toriyama is that he's known for his humor and being a little weird and wacky in his stuff. What do you think is the most pinnacle moment of Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball, any of the franchise, that is just the pinnacle of its humor?
Oh, I think it's the Vegeta Bingo song. I think I would think that immediately.
Bingo! Yeah, that was bizarre. Man, there's so many funny moments.
My Bulma moment, Bulma just giving beer sass the whole time, having a birthday party in 2 different locations, depending on if you're watching the movie or the series.
Yeah.
In the movie, it's like on land, and the series, it's on a yacht or something, or on a boat, a cruise ship.
There's a lot of funny moments that I feel like they missed occasionally. So we would subtly add a little line every now and then just to make it more fun because I thought that Vegeta and Bulma never talked enough about Yamcha. Like they never discussed it openly. So I did have this one tiny scene in the first movie where she was like, "Come on, come to the party, Vegeta," and then he's like, "Yeah, fine, let's go see Yamcha." Where he's all bitter that Yamcha's still hanging around.
Let's see if he's doing push-ups or anything. I bet he can do at least one.
Oh, he's not dead this week? Okay.
Does he still have that cat that he likes so much? That no one else can see?
I just let Chris do the panel as a disgruntled Yamcha.
Dude,
Vegeta.
I loved Goku getting in trouble because he wasn't supposed to be fighting, and Chi-Chi shows up at the ring.
Oh, I love that scene, yeah, where Goku has to act like, we're gonna act badly. And so my theory was when Goku was doing that scene with Mr. Satan was like, well, Goku's not gonna be a good actor. So he's gonna be, ow, I'm overacting badly. You know, like he's not gonna be good at that. And then he's so up, his head's so up his rear, he's like, I forgot my tractor. And then which was an outtake, and then we're just like, let's keep it, because he would totally do that.
It was too funny.
Because he's leaving, and then he was like, oh, I'm gonna take that with me. And I thought it was so hilarious that like, he's faking being punched, and then he's gonna grab the tractor on the way out.
He's like,
And then there you go. And he's like, yeah, that's his favorite. You know, if I could change that line, I'd change it. I forgot my lucky tractor. That's if he's got several.
Yeah. My limited edition
My
tractor.
limited edition tractor.
Audie, I would love to have the next question be from one of you guys. So I'm gonna stand up real quick. So who? Let's see. Okay, I only have two people have questions for you.
That's it.
You in the yellow. You can stand up.
So this is a question for both Chris and Sean.
Oh, good. We're both here.
Who is your guys' favorite fusion, and also which one do you like acting better? Like you voice prefer?
Probably Veku. Veku's my favorite.
That is definitely Sean's. He quotes it all the time. Let's see.
I wasn't a fan of any of the fusions until the movie. When Gogeta came out all new again, I was like, this is badass. Like, the new Gogeta blew my mind. And it's not that I disliked the Vegito and Gogeta. I never got into it as much as everybody else did, you know?
It's also harder to. It's actually harder to even know what's going on in that character because you're either the first one to go, and then with thinking about that somebody else has to copy your voice immediately, and then the second person goes, and then you're thinking less about what the scene is and more about how to copy the other person. So I don't know, but I felt like in the movie it was like a palatable amount of time. It was a small feature, small part of the feature. So we really worked hard to make it sound as much like one person as possible. And that was super fun.
And I love when they cut away and then the animation style changes and then they got really specific when Piccolo's like trying to get them to do the fusion dance right. And he gets out a ruler and a compass and he's like, your angle's wrong. And I thought that was just absolutely hilarious.
It was nice that Piccolo just managed to show up.
And it's like, all right, we're gonna go somewhere else for a second. You know?
I love it.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Great question. Alrighty. Any kids in the audience?
They're all kids.
Yeah, it's true. We're all children here.
They're all younger than me and Chris.
Alrighty.
What's your favorite episode for each of you?
Episode.
Oh, hang on, let me process 500 episodes and 13 movies.
You got it down, right?
No, my honestly, I can't answer it. I like Kai and I like the last 3 movies the best. You know, I have nostalgic feelings around Z like everybody does because that's when I first started, right? But Kai was when we kind of got to, for lack of a better term, perfect it, although it probably needs more work. But I think it's very, very good. You know what I mean? Like we got to do it right. You know, we got to do it closest to the Japanese. We got to do it, you know, purest form. So that's kind of what I did. And then the last 3 movies are just astounding.
Yeah, me, it was just the Garlic Jr. saga. It was basically. That was my favorite. It was so good. It was like riveting. Like it was. You never knew if they were gonna like get to the sacred water on
Well,
time.
and then we never find out anything about Garlic Senior. No.
No, I loved Vegeta's kind of redemption scene. That's probably one of the best moments in the show, I think. Vegeta and Goku's epic fight when everything surrounding Majin Vegeta is my favorite show.
What's funny
I
is
was like, here.
Then he found the table. It's funny, it's like Dragon Ball seems like it's got the most episodes, but it's really like, you know, One Piece or Naruto or, I mean, there are other series that have exponentially, well, I would use the word exponential, but a lot more, but yet Dragon Ball feels like it's 7 or 1,000 episodes is One Piece now?
Yeah.
Because
Dragon Ball feels like 1,000 episodes.
well, their parents feel like it was 1,000 episodes because they had to buy them the VHS tapes, and then they had to buy them the DVDs, and then they had to buy them the Blu-rays.
And then
Then they buy the subscription.
George Lucas is a genius. Didn't you think of repackaging everything over and over and reselling it? It's a genius. And we just keep buying it.
Dragon Ball Z is the Star Wars of Japan?
Sure.
Sure, why not? Absolutely. Another one? You've had your hand up like the whole time.
All right, so I actually wanted to first of all add that there's actually one anime that has more episodes than One Piece, which is like, it's this detective anime. And
Case closed, yeah.
all right, for you, Chris, how did you get into anime? Okay, for both of you.
I didn't actually. I never got into it. You know, it's not what this thing. I just didn't like it.
Was never really into it.
He asked that way. You heard him anyway.
All right, so with the abysmal amount of screaming that you both do throughout the entire series and possibly throughout your other various roles, how do either of you even have vocal cords left at this point?
I made a pact with the devil in 1972 that if I could scream loud enough, I don't know.
I have no idea. Actually, it's like we were just young and stupid and didn't know any better, and we just did it.
I think, well, I mean, Chris and I, he doesn't give himself enough credit. Chris was a vocalist in college, at the same college I went to, even though we didn't know each other at music school. And I was a vocal minor, and singing and studying singing and training your diaphragm and your vocal cords to work all properly really helps protect against vocal damage. So my secret, and I wouldn't call it a secret, is just proper technique in the booth, proper monitoring. A lot of people monitor too quiet because they're worried about damaging their hearing. I did not care about my hearing, so I monitored way too loud. But I think it helps protect my voice when you don't have enough proper monitoring is critical, and tremendous breath support, copious amounts of air, help protect the vocal. Now, Chris has made a good point last time on the panel that when you do a voice like Vegeta, in my case, I don't do a Vegeta voice, but one of the voices that I do that's similar to Vegeta is Popeye. And in order to do a Popeye voice right, you have to do Vegeta voices or gravelly voices like that really loud, because if you do them softly, you don't have enough breath support, and then your vocal cords are really crammed together, and then you can develop nodes. So if you're going, wow, blow me down, I'm gonna do that with like really loud, like this, right? Gotta do real loud, right? And then you gotta Vegeta really loud, because if you do it soft, you know, because the breath support. Am I right about that? Or?
Yes! No, yeah, in order to make a raspy voice in general, you basically have to close off your vocal cords and throw as much air into it as you can,
Yeah.
or else it doesn't work. So, or at least your voice won't work out.
Yeah, and I think we're just, lucky, I guess, too, yeah. I don't think people realize when they get on that show, somebody new will get on the show, and they'll, like, I think when Kale and Khalifa, they got on the show, they're like screaming like crazy. Did a great job. But the one thing I was thinking, I was like, okay, now do that for 20 years. But they did a great job.
Yeah, I like to believe that also we, like, your vocal cord is a muscle just like any other thing. And we were using our voice so much and so often back in those days that, I think it just took damage and took damage and took damage, and very luckily, I never lost it.
We have saying vocal muscles because they get stronger when they're heavily damaged.
Yeah.
Funny you should
When they're
mention
dead.
that. The last time I went to my ENT, he did not know I was the voice of Goku. I don't even know if he knew I was a voice actor. I might have told him that. And he was examining my throat, and he was, feeling my neck. He goes, wow, you got really strongly developed vocal cord muscles, neck muscles. I'm like, yeah, I screamed. My brain's
Did
out.
he rub on your neck like
He
that?
did. He touched my neck. He touched my neck. He was checking the he was being professional. He wasn't like feeling me up. He was being professional. He was like checking. He was checking for nodes and swell. He's doing his doctor thing, right? And then he's looking down my throat. He's like, "You have really well developed." I'm like, "Yeah, I've been screaming on the show for 20 years." And he's like, "Wow, that's really amazing. You don't have nodes." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. That's why I'm here to see if I have any." He's like, "You don't. Your vocal cords look great." I'm like, "Awesome. I gotta go do a movie." And
Yeah, I think somehow we were gifted with some ability not to lose our voices entirely.
I've never asked the Japanese cast about that. I've never had a really I've talked to them before, but I haven't had an opportunity to ask them that question. I haven't asked Masako
She would go, "It would be my pleasure to lose my voice."
She is very polite. Yes, she would. She's very, very
You
polite.
guys are built different.
Yes.
Thank you for answering.
Thank you.
Thank you, great.
You're welcome.
So I have a couple questions for y'all. I'm gonna go one by one if that's okay, and stroke some egos. Sean, so
Please stroke my ego, please.
yeah, absolutely. You were the greatest. But you're the voice of a character that has like transcended through like so much, like outside of geek culture, where even my father, who knows nothing about anime, messages me, "Hey, I need to settle a debate with my friend. Who would win, Superman or Goku?"
Are you talking about how much Goku? Well, keep going. Sorry.
It's just like the fact that everybody is just always Blank versus Goku is just a huge phenomenon. I feel like.
Well, yeah, but are you talking about how how Goku's just permeated all aspects of culture in general? Okay.
And what is it like? Kind of voicing that character.
It's interesting you mentioned that because when I got the part, Chris was the director. He and I were not friends. I did not know him. We were becoming friends, but he was the director, and he was trying to explain to me early on. I remember going to work, and he was like, "Okay, Sean, so Goku's kind of like the Mickey Mouse of Japan in terms of popularity." So, and I was like, "Really? Whoa!" Like I thought it was so, but I never thought like, "Oh, well, it's the Mickey Mouse of Japan, but it'll never reach that kind of popularity." And I gotta be careful because Disney's like right outside. They have a sniper. If I say Goku's one, I'm just dead. No, I'm kidding. But they're nearby. So
They're called snipe-keteers.
they're sniping you with happiness.
Yeah.
So have a nice day. Have a nice day. But I never, at the time, I was like, wow, that's really cool for Japan. I'm sure it'll be popular here. I'm really honored. And I took it very, very seriously. I still do, but I took it very, very seriously. And only in the last, I guess, since we started doing the new movies, have Chris and I, even though we've been in the space for 15 years at that point, in the last 5 years, was it kind of just jaw-dropping for us to see, like, wait a second, Goku has a float in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade? Wait a second. The rapper Big Sean wants me to come over to his house, which I did twice. He's amazing, by the way. And he's geeking out that I'm there, and I'm geeking out that I'm there. And I'm like, I'm in your house, dude. This is amazing. And so to see that, and I'm randomly watching an episode of The Flash, with Grant Gustin. I call it the Flizash, but the Flizash is on. I don't know why I call it that, but I'm watching that, and there's one episode where he loses his memory, and his girlfriend is going, his wife's girlfriend is going, remember you used to love Dragon Ball Z, you remember that? And I added subtitles on, I took a picture of it, I think I tweeted it. I was like, holy crap, you're quoting Dragon Ball Z on The Flash. I mean, like, I am astounded at, like, the legacy of this thing. Like, it's ironically what I expected, but I didn't know I expected it. It's a weird thing, it's a surreal thing for me. And it harkens back to that day when Chris was like, this is like Mickey Mouse in Japan. I'm like, oh, cool for Japan. But
here's the thing.
It's happening here.
I'm not going to claim that I knew.
No, he didn't know.
How
He
much
just-
more? I didn't really understand it.
I think you're being hyperbolic at the time.
That's just what I was told.
Yeah.
I didn't know, because there was no internet basically when we started. You could get you were lucky if you could get an email address through Yahoo or something like that. It wasn't even a real thing.
I was desperately trying to research the character and learn how to do the character because Japan was not here giving us pointers. So I was taking back home DVDs, I'm not actually videotapes at the time, and just to watch it every day, just to prepare for it, so that I could do a good job. You were saying, I'm sorry. I don't
No, I don't even remember, but it was
end of the year.
Yeah, it's been a crazy run. I can't believe
Crazy,
it. I
crazy
think it's
year.
funny that when we first met you, your parents were coming to get our autograph for you, and now you're here, and I met so many people I'm getting this from my dad, or I'm getting this from my mom.
I'm getting somebody, I'm getting somebody, and they're my age. And I'm like, wait a second, I was 30 when I just turned 30 when I got this, when I got on the show. It was crazy, dude.
It always warms my heart when people come up and they say that this is a show. I'm really excited that I can watch this with my kids now.
Yeah.
That they watch it together with their family, and I think it's the best thing ever. So.
I think being indirectly a part of that specialness is really nice for me. I wouldn't use the word voyeuristically because I'm not sitting in the living room watching them watch Dragon Ball through the glass. I'm not going, oh, they're watching Dragon Ball. I'm not doing that. But in my mind, I'm imagining you all having a good time, bonding, having a good time watching the show and creating good memories, and that makes me really happy. So it does. I mean, it's like it's a good reason for being on Earth. You know, it's makes my life worth living. I think, you know, to know that I'm a part of that. And, thank you.
Your characters have such a wide range of drive and personality, and it's crazy how grounded you make them sound. And there's so much realism to every single character that you voice from all anime, with All Might and Vegeta, Piccolo, and do you try to put a part of yourself into these characters to kind of keep them a little bit closer to home, or do you kind of want them, for lack of a better word, to be more alien?
I'm already answering this question in my head because I know this man really well. And while I think he's a tremendous actor, I think very little of actual Chris, because Chris is so laid back and so like, whatever, dude, it's all good, dude.
The only, I would say, some characters, I'm very happy when I ever get to play a character that I get to inject some of my own personality into.
Yes.
So the only thing I've injected into the characters that I've played mostly is just like jokes where I think they need to be. But I don't know, like a lot of people come up to me and they say like, oh man, Vegeta really inspires me to work out. And I'm like, every time I hear my own voice, I'm just inspired to like, just eat more and like not work out because of how exhausting working on the show was. So the thing, I play a very specific type of character a lot, and I don't know what it is about it that kind of I enjoy playing characters like this, and I think I'm okay at it. It's like I'm good at playing the guy who is with the group, but kind of doesn't want to be with the group, but has a good heart. You know what I mean? Like he's not necessarily the person that wants to always like. He's not the first person to say I'm the hero of this group, but wants to be around good people. And so that's why I love Vegeta so much. That's why I like Piccolo like that. I like so many characters, even Kuwabara to some degree. But I'd say the character I probably put the most of myself into is a character called Yami from Black Clover.
Remind me.
This guy doesn't know anyone's name. He just calls them like, hey, what's
You're not
up?
that bad. You know people's names.
I'm
You forget a
pretty
lot.
bad about it. But he gives everyone kind of a nickname, although you do that a lot too. But
I give everybody a nickname.
and he wants to surpass. He's a little bit lazy. Wants everyone to surpass their limits, but it isn't really willing to go out there much himself and do it. And then he likes to go to the bathroom a lot. Like he spends a lot. Like he really appreciates his prime time, is what he calls it.
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
That's when we summon the dragon.
And he has there's a character. There's a character in the show who can transport people from place to place in a portal. His name is Finral, and Yami basically uses him like Uber. He's like, "Where's my wheels?" It's super funny.
I gotta catch up on my anime. I've just been watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I just started it, you know. Like I gotta.
Oh, you just don't.
I'm barely through season 1, I think.
Black Clover's amazing.
Oh, is it? Oh, I gotta watch Black Clover. Is it good? Should I watch it, Chris? I don't know.
It's good. I mean, it's one of those shows that I think didn't start off as strong as it
Should have watched
have.
Dub or Sub. No, I'm kidding.
Ouch. I gotta go.
Get over.
Man, I'm loopy. It's the end of the year. I'm just over it. I mean, I'm happy to be here.
Full holiday cheer.
I'm just tired. Yeah, I'm just.
All right, let's get another question. Okay, I'm gonna go in the back.
All right, he's gonna Donahue it. Okay.
You in the red shirt? Yeah. Oh.
Who do you think is stronger? Gogeta Blue or Master Ultra Instinct Goku?
Master Ultra Instinct Goku, because he's Ultra Instinct. He doesn't have to think. I have no idea, honestly, who scaled the power levels. I'm more interested in the Scoville scale of power levels to hot peppers relative to Dragon Ball. Have you ever seen that chart? It does the Scoville scale of hot peppers relative to different characters in Dragon Ball. And I think Frieza's a ghost pepper. And I think that farmer is like a jalapeno. The farmer in the beginning. That's like, sorry kiddo, I digressed on the Scoville scale of hotness versus who's stronger, Ultra Instinct or Gogeta Blue.
There's really no way of knowing.
But they do when the S hits the fan. I'm trying to be PG-13 here.
no,
Gogeta Blue. Gogeta Blue. I think I'm ready. Vegeta Blue in the movie, when they really can't get it done, they have to fuse. Because why couldn't one or the other? In order to beat Broly, they had to fuse.
But they weren't Ultra Instinct, though.
Is there gonna be an Ultra Instinct Gogeta?
Oh man.
I just put it out there. Then some nerd's gonna be like,
I hope he looks like the Super Saiyan 4 version.
A lot of people like that. A lot
I
of people
do.
like Super Saiyan 4. They love the character design of Super Saiyan 4. They do.
Absolutely. All right, next question.
Which is when I passed
Here's
out.
a question right there, look.
I didn't pass out during Super Saiyan 4. What's the question? What's that, One Punch Man?
One Punch Man.
Is this going to be a panel about who's stronger?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, the problem is once you start using the term God, like in God mode, well, now you're looking at, like, in my opinion, omnipotence. However, in the One Punch Man show, I didn't watch season 2. In season 1, it's intimated that he gets his power perhaps from some God. I don't know if that's articulated in season 2. So if it's God versus God, well, that's a crapshoot. And then if it's non-God versus God Goku, then it's going to be Goku. So I'm always going to pick Goku because I'm biased. But I try to have a logical reason why Goku would win, though. I try to make it make sense. I mean, Goku could potentially. He's lost before. He can potentially.
I mean, the only reason that Goku might lose that battle is because Goku would go like, "One punch? Seriously? Go ahead and punch me then."
Yeah. That'd be awesome. And then he'd be knocked out, and then he'd be like, "Oh, that was so strong." Whoa. And then he'd be like, "Hey, will you show me how to do that? I'll show you how to do instant transmission." Or something like that. That's what he would do. He would trade in moves. He would trade One Punch Man's One Punch for instant transmission, probably.
Absolutely.
Because then you can go get takeout anytime. Just, you're back.
Yeah. Virtual. Yeah.
Okay. When are you gonna make a live movie, Dragon Ball?
They did.
They did.
It's really good. You gotta see it.
It was really good. Sorry.
It's called Dragon Ball Evolution. It is amazing.
It made almost as much at the box office as the Broly movie did.
I always tell anybody, if you want to see a Dragon Ball Z live action movie, watch a Chinese movie called Kung Fu Hustle.
Yeah, Kung Fu Hustle. And that was the guy that was supposed to direct.
Yeah.
And then he dropped out for some reason.
He became kind of a producer, and it wasn't really him that worked on it. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened. I don't know what the story is, but by the way, lesser known fact, the guy who played Piccolo in Dragon Ball Evolution, David Gray, you guys know him. Yeah, you probably know his name in the credits. That actually wasn't him. There was a guy that played Piccolo in the live-action Dragon Ball movie, and his name is James Marsters, and he's from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Right? So he played Piccolo. Sean was at a convention with him at one time.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, the Buffy the Vampire Slayer guy there. You should go talk to him.
He really likes
"Why?"
Dragon Ball.
He goes, I was like, I think he would want to talk about his experience on the movie. I think it would be really funny. And so he's like, I don't know. I'm like, please do it. So he went over and talked to James Marsters, and James Marsters turns out to be a huge Dragon Ball fan.
Massive.
Like when he was preparing for that movie, excited about it as everybody else was, he learned everything about it. Watched it with his son.
Oh, yeah.
And so we ended up using him as Zamasu in Dragon Ball Super. And he did it completely uncredited and completely unpaid. He did the whole thing without ever receiving.
I got all his checks. Because he's playing Zamasu, so they're parallel universe checks, and so they're my checks. No, and that was actually really frustrating, because he's a really good actor, and I had to follow him, because we were trying to map out my voice as Goku Black to be based on Zamasu, and he was kind of developing the voice as he went along, so at times my accent will be less or more because I'm listening, because in the video game he did this really thick accent. And then in the show, he started out that way, and then he's kind of settled into the character. And so I go into a session and go, wait a second, the accent's, and we're trying to make it all match up to when Zamasu is talking to Goku Black. They sound like the same spirit inside them coming out of Goku Black's coming out of my voice box because I play Goku, right? And so it ended up turning out great. But it was a arduous process because we were on the road promoting.
I think Sean's also the only person who notices this subtle difference. No one else noticed it.
Oh yeah,
So.
I'm really particular, and so I was like, but he did a great job, and he was really super.
So if you see him, tell him hi, go bring your Zamasu Pops to him and tell him you love it, because he wanted a redemption so badly from being Piccolo in that live action movie that
He definitely redeemed himself, for sure.
He's
That's awesome.
Amazing dude.
That's fantastic. Alrighty.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see. You in the blue hair.
A seal.
Hi.
So I have a question actually for both of you. With no restrictions, any two characters in the series, who would you most like to see fuse and why?
No restrict. Why would there be restrictions? I guess I could think of a
Let's
few
see.
now that I'm thinking about it. But I thought he meant no restrictions. For some reason, I was thinking of masks, mandates. I was like, no restrictions. You can take your mask off. Oh, it really is
so
the end of
many
the year.
good ones. Oh man.
Are we talking about characters in Dragon Ball?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
It's gotta be characters in Dragon Ball.
Gregory and like one of the powerful characters like Vegeta, or
Gregory and Raccoon.
Raccoon or something, like two, you know, and he's like, little great grasshopper arms, you know.
Like I don't know, Bubbles and Gohan.
Yeah. Chi-Chi and Bubbles.
Chi-Chi and Guru.
Guru, yeah.
Gucci.
Gucci.
Where's Goku?
But he's got the Guru.
Okay, we're having too much fun.
Yes. I'll ask a question real quick, if that's okay.
It's fine.
Oh yeah, thank you. So Dragon Ball has
Wait, you're this close to reminding me of like, not completely, but just kind of in your demeanor. You're like this close to being Tom Arnold or something. You know what I mean? Like, you're this close to just, okay, wait, what's going on? Wait, I think I'll just read the question.
less drugs, more caffeine.
Yes, I love it. Go ahead with your question. Sorry.
No, it's totally fine. But Dragon Ball Z is traversed through so many different mediums, with video games, anime, manga, everything. Is there anything that hasn't, traversed or done that you would like to see Dragon Ball Z kind of?
What do you mean? Like,
just a different kind of medium, like a podcast or something. I don't know.
oh, I was waiting for the Dragon Ball Z amusement parks. They got enough. Like they should just have. They have enough characters. You could make an amusement park in several. Like I want instead of Six Flags everywhere, which I used to work for them, but I want to see Dragon Ball theme parks everywhere. Slides, Dragon Ball snow cones.
Everything's just energy drinks.
Yeah, energy drinks.
And it's really loud. And the lines are super long.
Yeah. The lines are always over 9,000 people long.
The rides just take a really long time to get interesting.
Yeah.
It started right when you think the ride is over. It just keeps going.
It goes higher and higher.
It's like the car comes to a stop, and then the smoke clears. It's like, wait till you see its next transformation. You're like, no, I gotta get off. Like, where are
Are we taking the show on the road? Because we just keep riffing on this shit every panel.
we need to bring him.
Oh yeah, bring Tom
Oh,
Arnold.
actually, you guys are a really good.
You guys are a great audience.
Yeah,
It's good for the audience.
What about you? What would you like to see?
I mean, it's been in everything. I'd love to see a serious, like, I'd like to see a real, like, Dragon Ball, like, MMO type game. I would think it would be pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah, that'd be dope.
They kind of had one in Japan that was, like, didn't really catch on here, but I'd love to see that. I'd love to see, I don't know, man, the music part, man, that was a good one. That was good.
Well, they've got enough characters. They've got enough story. You know that you could just do anything with that, man. You have different rides and crazy. My head's exploding thinking about it.
I would love to see like an oolong Krillin like true crime podcast. All right, let's answer more questions. You over there.
I listen to a lot of true crime. So.
When are you guys gonna come out with the season 2 for Super?
Hang on, I'm working on it. I'm drawing it right now.
Give him a couple
Next
days.
frame. No, we don't know. They don't tell us. My speculative guess is that the movie will happen next year, which they have announced, and then when they're done with that, I'm guessing that we may return to the series. They left it on a big cliffhanger, and there's a whole bunch more manga, and they're known to finish it, so they would be foolish to not finish it. So I can only imagine that we might see more Super in 2023, but I'm purely speculating. I don't want to start any false rumors because I will get a phone call all the way from Japan. They will call me in the middle of the night. No, they don't. They don't call me.
They'll just send you a laptop that they'll just take away.
They say a laptop with a nasty message, and then they poofs into smoke. Do you want to talk about the future?
Yeah, we don't know. I wish we knew more.
I wish we did know more.
Who was first? Oh, you all the way back there. Yes, absolutely.
I had this audition for this show called DragonBall in 1999. And no, I'm serious, that's how my career started. I was not a working actor. I had done a puppet show. I was playing French horn in orchestras and teaching music. I bought my new French horn in Pasadena, by the way. Just wanted to say that. Anyway, so, but I'm just excited. I bought my horn in Pasadena.
Did you get it from a place called Horns and More?
No, it's called the Horn Guys.
The Horn Guys.
The Horn Guys. And there used to be two guys that worked there. It's one guy, and it's like one guy, and I asked him, I go, should you call yourself the Horn Guy? He didn't like that joke. So, I don't know if the other guy died, so maybe that's what happened. I don't know. I have no idea. I think he just quit. So yeah,
He blew
what was the question? The question was...
Oh, how you started your career?
Oh, great, yeah, sorry, I auditioned for Dragon Ball, and then I got the part of Goku, and then Chris, I was working with Chris, and then I worked on that for a year, and then I decided to move to New York to pursue more acting, and then I ended up working on, Pokemon, Ninja Turtles, and Yu-Gi-Oh! And Yu-Gi-Oh! GX and 5Ds, and a whole bunch of other stuff I did a bunch of crazy voices on that you guys seem to like to clip and then put on YouTube, like the Arnold Schwarzenegger voice I did for the elephant, where he's like, get to the chopper. Because they said, then this elephant, the director goes, you want to do an Arnold Schwarzenegger voice for the elephant, is that okay? And I'm like, no problem, for Crystal Beast Mammoth. Crystal Beast Mammoth, Arnold Schwarzenegger. So a lot of those lines are ad-lib, like, I'll be back, I added that. I was trying to put every Arnold catchphrase in there that I possibly could. But yeah, my first audition was a Dragon Ball. Chris worked in radio, though. You were doing radio and you did DJs and...
Yeah, I worked at radio stations in Houston and Galveston, and then I went back to go get a degree in radio, television, film. But in my last year of school, I was hanging out with some people. One of them who worked at a small company called Funimation that had like 5 employees at the time, and they said, we're working on this Japanese show, and they're like, I was like, oh, I've heard of that. There's like 3 of them, right? There's like Ghost in the Shell and Akira, and there's one called Fist of the North Star. I've seen all 3 of them. And they're like, oh, there's more. And they said, you should audition for this Dragon Ball movie that we're doing. I'm like, cool, I'll do it. And so I went and I auditioned. This was prior to the auditions we had for Dragon Ball Z. This was for like a Dragon Ball movie. And it was just, it ended up being a test to see whether they could do it in Dallas or not. I played Yamcha. Actually, it was the first person in the series I played. And then about a month later, they called me like, hey, Chris, I ever wonder if you might want to, come on board Funimation stuff. And I'm like, cool. Are you going to pay me a lot of money? No, not at all. And so I said, sign me up, sure. Like this was a long time ago. I wasn't sure what to make of it. I've always been the type of person that just like, I see opportunities and I just.
I was living with my mom.
Yeah. Hey.
Well, because I got divorced and I moved home, and then I was around. I felt like so. I was like, but I was just thinking about those days, and like, while this is amazing and the pomp and circumstance of it all, and the success of the show, etc. But sometimes I look back on those days, and we were just kids showing up, recording till like 3 in the morning, just having a great time with it, trying to meet deadlines. I remember Barry called me once. He's like, yeah, we got a Cartoon Network deadline coming at 7 o'clock. I'm like, all right, when am I going to be done? I don't know. And I was done at like 3 in the morning. Yeah. You're just a young kid doing all that stuff. And
we were all super young. I was living in a house with like 4 other people, 3 dogs, and like.
It was just, I guess in retrospect, it's just it's almost better than college in terms of, it's like college, but without your exams are powering up. It's like, scream louder.
We had a lot of time to hang out back then too, because we were working on this really archaic old equipment. It was really clunky and it was really slow. And that's part of why Dragon Ball had a weird dub to begin with, because the equipment we were working on was so ancient. We had this one machine. It was huge. It was called a digital beta deck.
Digibeta, yeah.
Like
$25,000 for one. Yeah.
It had to move it. You had to hold it on its side because it was so beat up. It actually couldn't run if it was sitting this direction. So the gravity was better for it this way. And if you wanted to rewind to the beginning of the episode, it only rewound about just a little bit faster than play. So like once you got to the end of the episode, you had to wait like 20 minutes.
So every take would like take several minutes, versus I can do multiple takes really fast now, right? So you'd be having like a chat time in between takes while the thing's rewinding. So you tell jokes, get to know each other, look at your script, whatever, get ready. And then, and what really sucks is then you get boop, boop, I'm sorry, I burped, sorry, hang on, sorry. And then you gotta do it again, and you'll just do it right, and then it's whole 5 or 6 minutes before you're doing it, so. Nowadays, it's fast.
We talked about how crazy it is that we got the best roles we could possibly get at the very, very start of our careers.
Yes, we did. Thank you. I have yet to get a role that is as legendary as Goku.
We feel like, and I think both Sean and I dealt with this, of like feeling like a little bit of imposter syndrome at first. Like, how did this happen to us? Because we were sort of at the right place at the right time. And it took a long time of screaming and a long time of working really hard on the show before.
Well, I didn't even find out from whether or not they were pleased with what we're doing in Japan until I was on the phone with Scott Lansky. He called me from Japan during Resurrection F. He was out with some of the Japanese team. And I was like, by the way, what do they think of it? Like, I've never talked to them before. Like, no, it's good. They like it. Well, oh, okay, good. Because I've been busting my ass for this thing for 15 years. And I hope I did it right. You know, I think the whole fear was just for me as an artist, was just like, I want to get this right. You know, so that, because I knew, I could tell how powerful it was. And I've always naturally just been a big respecter of the artists in general. So, you know, to help, you know, bring to life part of Akira Toriyama's work is a huge burden and honor for English-speaking people. So, and we did it. And we earned our stripes, I think. I think we definitely had that justified imposter syndrome in the beginning. But by the time we got to Kai, I think we'd earned our stripes. And we knew what we were doing, you know.
We wouldn't be here if you didn't.
I know, it's crazy. I mean, every panel we do, it's packed. It's unbelievable. You guys are amazing.
Yeah.
It's so amazing that people keep showing up to listen to us blab about
And then I just can't get over this forbidden love that's happening right here in the second row. That I can't. It's very difficult to imagine a universe in which you two stand up. A universe in which Tian and Bulma.
Oh yeah, I think Tian and Bulma, forbidden love.
Yeah.
Cheating on Chaozu. What does that even mean?
That's their sitcom.
Cheating on Chaozu is the sitcom.
But thank you everybody for being here. Unfortunately, that was the last question.
Oh, was it? Oh shit, it's already 5 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah, it's already 5. And do you guys have any plugs? And also, while you're doing your plugs, I do have one quick lightning round question. As you're plugging, which Dragon Ball Z character would you like to have a drink with? And also your plugs.
I'm currently working on a show called Monkey Kid for Lego, and I play the Monkey King. And not to give you any spoilers, but it's very similar to a storyline I've always wanted to do in Dragon Ball that we've never done. And I didn't write it. I just accidentally, they're doing the storyline, and I'm like, oh, it's great. And it's doing really well. The Lego sets are amazing. And I'm basically, it's one of the only roles where I'm really pretty much just playing myself retired. You know, because basically the Monkey King is retired. That's all I'm going to say. You have to watch it. So I'm working on that. What are you working on?
Producing a game called Tales of Luminaria. It's a Tales of game for Bandai Namco. It's a huge, deep, massive game, and it's actually available on iPhone. I always forget what I'm working on because there's so many things we're not allowed to talk about that you just put in the back of your mind. We're working on other good stuff. I have no idea what it is. Take care of yourselves, guys. Thank you. Oh man, my brain just finally went pew.
Yeah. He had a hell of a fly day yesterday. He flew all day. He had to fly to Atlanta to drop his kids off and then fly here. And so he's brain fried,
Wow. Yeah.
So he's a
Luckily, my daughter turned 7 on Thursday, and she wanted to have a birthday party in Atlanta because that's what rich people do. I'm joking. Like, she'd be a family in Atlanta, and she's like, I really like this restaurant in Atlanta, Daddy. But
the best carpaccio.
Yeah. But originally, her birthday party was supposed to be on Sunday, and like I was gonna have to like do this convention and then fly like overnight and get back to Atlanta to get to her birthday party. It was a roller skating party, so I thought I'm gonna die. Turns out it's been postponed to next week, so I can stay.
Dude, I love roller skating. I'll go. I love roller skating.
If you guys had any trouble getting in lines today, I'm gonna be here again tomorrow, so thank you very much.
I'll be here tomorrow as well.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for being so understanding. Thank the staff and the people that made this show possible for you guys.
Yeah, and you guys really, you know, pandemic kicked all our asses, and if it wasn't for all the fan love and support, you're literally saving me and my partner's lives. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. And I hope everyone else is doing well. Be safe out there.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. Y'all be safe now.
Thank you.
And next panel will be unnecessary debates.
That was this one.
Oh my God, I have to pee.